So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily News in Shorts. In this lecture series, we cover that day's newspaper or the important news items in that day's newspaper within a very short span of time, within 20 minutes. The purpose of covering this day's current affairs in a short span of time is very simple. Look, current affairs are very important for your UPSC as well as state civil services examination. They are very important, in fact, the most important. And you need to cover current affairs on a daily basis if you want to be well versed in current affairs before you sit for your exams. But as civil services aspirants, your time is also important. It's very important, actually. Therefore, I don't want you guys to waste your time. Therefore, from the newspapers, I have selected important topics that have a high probability of featuring in your civil services examination. I have done the hard work for you. I have chosen the important topics and would discuss those topics in this lecture within 20 minutes. Your time wouldn't get wasted because most of the time gets wasted in choosing the topics which are important, which are relevant, which topics are non-relevant, right? So most of your time gets wasted in choosing important topics. So I've done that work for you. Now we'll just focus on those important topics that I have selected for you today. Okay, that is why we are going to take around 20 minutes. That is why your time wouldn't get wasted, but side by side, you'll be able to cover your current affairs. Okay, now today we are going to be covering September 26th, 2024's current affairs. And what were the important topics that featured in today's newspapers? So these topics are as following. Today's topics. Number one, India has formally joined a US-led initiative called Mineral Security Finance Network. This initiative will secure critical minerals for these countries who have joined this initiative. Now, critical minerals are very important for modern day electronics and clean energy transition like electric vehicles, various new green initiatives. Critical minerals are very important for that. Now, to secure those critical minerals, USA and other countries, including India, have come together to form this network. Okay, so we'll discuss this. Then, an article was published in Indian Express today, which talked about Project Cheetah because it was Project Cheetah's 2-year anniversary. So, we'll talk about Project Cheetah, its successes, its failures. Then recently, Assam government has announced that it is serious about implementing Clause 6 of Assam Accord. Now, Assam Accord was signed in 1985 and its Clause 6 has to be implemented. So, Assam government is saying that we are starting the work on implementing this Clause 6. Now, what is Assam Accord? What is Clause 6? We'll talk about this in our third topic. And in the end, we'll talk about the philosophy of integral humanism. Okay. Recently, the birth anniversary of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay was celebrated. He's a stalwart of BJP, and he played a role in forming BJP's philosophy also. Now, we are not interested in any one particular party, but these people are part of our history, and what they said, what was their philosophy, is important for us from the point of view of the examination. Right? So that is why we are going to study the philosophy propounded by Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji called integral humanism. All right. So these are the 4 topics that we are going to focus our attention on. Let's start this discussion. So topic number 1 is Mineral Security Finance Network. So what is in the news? India is now formally a part of Mineral Security Finance Network, a US-led initiative aiming to strengthen cooperation among members to secure supply chains for critical minerals. Okay, critical minerals. MSFN is a pact entered by 14 countries and European Union. Now, basically this MSFN is part of another initiative called Mineral Security Partnership, which was again a US-led initiative started in 2022, and India was formally inducted into this initiative on June 2023. So by default, India has also become a part of MSFN because MSFN is a part of MSP. All right. Now, what is this initiative all about? Listen. Basically, critical minerals are very important. Critical minerals like lithium, cobalt, nickel, rare earth minerals, right? They are very important in the coming future because the coming future is all about electronics, is all about clean energy. Now, for making instruments to transition to clean energy like electric vehicle batteries and all that, and making electronics, all these things require critical minerals, which India does not have much. In fact, USA and various other countries don't have access to or don't have much access to these critical minerals. Majority of the access lies with China. Therefore, these 14 countries and EU, okay, 14 countries, USA, European Union, all these countries want to reduce their dependence on China regarding critical minerals because they don't want to be overwhelmingly dependent on China because China is strategically an enemy of US, right? So that is why they have started this initiative. MSFN MFSN comes at a time when there is an overwhelming dependence on countries such as China for critical resources. This new partnership brings together development finance institutions like big institutions like Asian Development Bank, World Bank, and all that, export credit agencies of the member countries, public and private sector of these member nations who are members of MFSN. These people will come together in securing the supply of these critical minerals to these countries. Okay. Now already MSP has shortlisted a dozen projects where members will cooperate, commence work, and secure supply chains of these critical minerals. Now, some of the important critical minerals are as following, like lithium, which is used in lithium ion batteries, which is very important for what? Electric vehicles. Similarly, nickel. Nickel is used in nickel cadmium batteries, which is very important for, well, mobile phone batteries, electronics batteries, electric vehicles, right? Nickel cadmium batteries are also used in electric vehicles. And cobalt is used in all electronics, iPhone, mobile phones, everything. Plus 17 rare earth elements. These are also used in electronics. So this MFSN basically focuses on these 20 elements. There is a special focus on supply chains of minerals such as cobalt, nickel, lithium, and also 17 rare earth minerals. Now, cobalt, nickel, and lithium are used in batteries for electric vehicles, whereas these rare earth elements are used in semiconductor chips, high-end electronics manufacturing. Now, the thing is that China is a dominant player as far as supply of these elements are concerned. China is a strong player in this space and has created processing infrastructure in rare earth minerals and has acquired mines in Africa also. Some of these elements are not there in China. So what China has done is China has found those mines where these elements would be found in Africa and has taken control of those mines. Okay. Rare earth, what are rare earth elements? Okay, so rare earth elements are in total 17. Some are called light rare earth elements, some are called heavy. Now, India's territory has some light rare earth elements, but India has no access to heavy rare earth elements. Okay, HREE are not available in Indian deposits in extractable quantities. Therefore, there is overwhelming dependence on China. Okay, China has 70% control of global production of HREs. Therefore, many countries want to reduce that dependence, and that is why they have started MSP, Mineral Security Partnership, Mineral Finance Security Network. All right, so this is the thing. Okay, let's jump to topic number 2, which is 2 years of Project Cheetah. So, what was Project Cheetah? Basically, look, there were two types of cheetahs. Okay, 100 years back or 70, 75 years back, there were two types of cheetahs: African cheetahs and Asiatic cheetahs. Now, Asiatic cheetahs were mostly found in Indian subcontinent. Let's say that. Okay, African cheetahs are found in Africa. Now, 70, 75 years back, Asiatic cheetahs became extinct. There are no longer any Asiatic cheetahs in the Indian subcontinent. They became extinct because of hunting and various other reasons. So Asiatic cheetahs became extinct. Therefore, a few years back, government decided that India needs cheetahs. Cheetahs are important, right? And we also need cheetahs. But there are no Asiatic cheetahs in the Indian subcontinent. Therefore, Indian government decided to import African cheetahs from Africa and introduce them to Indian landscape. They will multiply and India will once again have cheetahs. For that, they launched Project Cheetah. So under Project Cheetah, there were two countries from where African cheetahs would be translocated to India. Okay, these two countries were Namibia and South Africa. So Project Cheetah, which saw the introduction of African subspecies of wildcat in India, completed 2 years on September 17th. And this project had two major objectives. First, very simple, that India should have a stable breeding population of cheetahs. Then the other, less important, but again significantly important objective was that using these cheetahs, we will create landscape that is hospitable to cheetahs. Okay, we will again introduce ecosystems like scrublands, savannas, grasslands, degraded forests. So we will use cheetahs, and to protect cheetahs, we would have to protect their habitat. So in that way, this habitat would also get restored in India. Okay, grasslands, degraded forests. So these were the objectives of Project Cheetah. Now, let's talk about the background of Project Cheetah. So basically, what was Project Cheetah? Let's take a look at some background. So Project Cheetah began with the translocation of African cheetahs from Namibia and South Africa, and these cheetahs were brought to Kuno National Park. Now, in total, 20 cheetahs, 20 adult cheetahs were brought from Namibia and South Africa. Okay. These adult cheetahs were brought in the batches of two. In one batch we got 12 cheetahs, in the other batch we got 8 cheetahs, right? So these cheetahs were translocated and they were brought to Kuno National Park, which is in Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Now these 20 cheetahs breeded also, and they gave birth to 17 cubs. So in total we had 37 cheetahs. But the thing is, once these cheetahs were introduced into the wild, they started dying a lot. And now, after 2 years, out of those 37 cheetahs, only 24 cheetahs have survived. So this project was successful also, but it had a lot of failures also. Now the government has decided that we have put enough cheetahs in Kuno National Park. Now let's choose another national park where these cheetahs would be introduced. So 6 to 8 African cheetahs would be brought in from Namibia and South Africa in the next batch, but these cheetahs would be placed not in Kuno National Park, but Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary, which is again in Madhya Pradesh. So now Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary would also have cheetahs. Okay, so this was Project Cheetah. Now it has its own share of successes and failures. So what were the successes? So first of all was successful breeding of African cheetahs in India's climate and ecology, and survival of 12 out of 17 cubs born. So out of those 17 cubs that were born, 12 survived in Indian climate, because these African cheetahs are not used to Indian climate. So this was a big success. Plus 2 cheetahs named Pavan and Veera, they were released into the wild and they survived for a long time. They were not held in captivity. Initially, all these cheetahs were held in captivity because we wanted to take care of them. But our eventual goal was releasing them into the wild. So these 2 cheetahs were released into the wild and they survived for a long time. Okay. But there were failures also. First of all, many cheetahs in the wild died. Therefore, all the cheetahs were brought in captivity again. After the release of Pavan and Veera, and after the death of Pavan, all cheetahs who were released into the wild were brought back again into captivity because the scientists were scared. Therefore, various scientists are saying that it is too late now. You are delaying the release of cheetahs into the wild. Second failure is decline in prey base. These cheetahs hunt, and they hunt a particular form of deer found in India called chital. But Kuno National Park does not have enough chital population to sustain these cheetahs. This is a problem. So lack of prey base. Okay, so these are the failures. Now let's move on to our next news item, which is Clause 6 of Assam Accord. Now what was in the news? First, let's talk about that. So after a meeting with representatives of all Assam Students Union, Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sarma set the ball rolling for the implementation of 52 recommendations of Justice Biplab Sarma Committee regarding Clause 6 of Assam Accord. Now look, Assam Accord was signed between Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi and all Assam Students Union called ASU. Again, this agreement was signed because ASU was protesting for 6 years in 1985. They were protesting for Bangladeshi immigration, and they said that because of this rampant Bangladeshi immigration, Assamese are losing on their culture, Assamese are losing on everything. Their population is declining, their demography is getting changed. Therefore, they protested. Government of India accepted their demands and they signed Assam Accord. Now, in that Assam Accord, there was Clause 6. All right, we'll talk about Clause 6 in a short while. But this Clause 6 was not yet implemented. So in 2019, government had set up Justice Biplab Sarma Committee, which would recommend how this Clause 6 should be implemented. Okay, this committee submitted its report in 2020, and now the Chief Minister of Assam is saying that now is the time that we should start implementing the 52 recommendations made by Justice Biplab Sarma Committee. Okay, this is the issue. Now let's take a look at the background of this issue. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about Assam Accord. So it was signed between PM Rajiv Gandhi and ASU in 1989. sorry, 1985. Let me check on that. I'll write the correction in the comment section, but I think it's 1985. This ended the 6-year-long agitation in Assam against the entry of Bangladeshi migrants into the state. So the entire agitation or the protest by ASU was regarding Bangladeshi migration. Now, this accord had clause 6. This clause 6 said that there shall be constitutional provisions, legislative provisions, and administrative provisions which will safeguard Assam's culture and heritage. They said, ASU said, Students' Union said that Assam's culture and heritage should be protected, and therefore there should be constitutional provisions, there should be special laws, and administrative notifications that would protect Assam's culture and heritage. This was clause 6. But the issue was how to implement this clause 6. What sort of constitutional amendment should be there? What sort of laws should be there? What sort of administrative notification should be there? So, how to implement clause 6? In 2019, very late, Justice Biplab Sarma Committee was formed. They gave 52 recommendations in 2020. Okay. And now, Assam government is talking about implementing those recommendations. That's about it. That's all you need to know about this issue. All right. And let's jump to topic number 4, our last topic for the day, philosophy of integral humanism. So look, September 25 marks the 108th birth anniversary of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay, whose philosophies are part of guiding principles of BJP. Basically, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay was an RSS pracharak and one of the founding fathers of BJP, Bharatiya Jana Sangh it was called back then. Okay, so his philosophy is the guiding light for BJP. Now, Upadhyay's philosophy was called integral humanism. Okay, and BJP says that this is our basic philosophy. Now, the doctrine of integral humanism was born from the desire to have a uniquely Indian ideas guiding the journey of newly independent nation. Look, Deen Dayal Upadhyay felt that India is starting its new journey from 1947 onwards. But the ideas behind this journey, or the ideas that would shape our country, are borrowed from the West. Deen Dayal Upadhyay was critical of the fact that we are borrowing ideals, philosophies, concepts from the West to shape our own nation. Our nation should be shaped from our own philosophy, from our own ancient philosophy, from our own ancient Indian ideas. And for doing that, he gave this philosophy of integral humanism. Now, what was this philosophy all about? First of all, he talked about unity and harmony. He said that as human beings, we are made up of mind, body, soul, and other things. There should be unity and harmony in our mind, body, soul. Okay. Now, take this human individual and project that human individual to society at large. Okay. Like a human individual should have unity and harmony among its different components. Similarly, society should have unity and harmony among its different components, different individuals, different castes, different religions, everything. Okay, so there should be unity and harmony. The other was borrowed from ancient Hindu philosophy of 4 Purushartha. These 4 Purushartha were mentioned in Dharma Sutras. These are Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Basically, these 4 Purusharthas are the 4 ultimate goals of every human being. Dharma, Arth means material well-being, Kam means sensual pleasures, and Moksha means, we all know what Moksha is, enlightenment, right? So he said that our integral humanism is based on these 4 Purusharthas. Every Indian should follow these 4 Purusharthas. So instead of drawing on popular Western philosophies, integral humanism draws from ancient Indian philosophy. All right, that's all. That's all you need to know about integral humanism. That's the only thing that, or this is the only thing that is important for you from an examination point of view. Nothing more you need to know. Okay. So yeah, with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I hope it has added value to your preparation. Now, if you want to download the notes for this lecture, you want to read whatever was discussed in this lecture, you can download our PDF file. Now, that PDF file is available on our Telegram channel. Now, how can you find our Telegram channel? Well, the link to our Telegram channel is provided in the comment section below. So you can click on that link, go to our Telegram channel, follow it, download the PDF for not just this lecture, but all the other lectures featuring on our YouTube channel. Okay. On that note, I'll be signing off. Thank you so much, everyone.